When any whistleblower comes forward against Trump, the accusation alone is enough for Democrats to start talking impeachment or indictment. But what happens when the whistleblowers are revealing the corruption within the DOJ and the FBI? The entire deep state explodes, which is itself revealing and, quite frankly, self-indicting. Rosie the Riveter here, dropping more truth bombs to destroy fake news and propaganda. Help share my content with others by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Hit the notification bell as well to get new videos when they are uploaded. Now, let's get into today's riveting topic. Recently, several whistleblowers testified to Congress regarding corruption within the Department of Justice and the FBI. Despite sharing their personal experiences, Democrats and the media labeled them conspiracy theorists. They characterized the whistleblowers as just activists, and all concerns should be dismissed in their eyes, while simultaneously complaining because the whistleblowers did not want to privately testify before the Democrats. Guess Democrats conveniently forgot how they cheered Representative Adam Schiff, denying Republicans repeated requests to hear testimonies from whistleblowers and others during the Ukraine hearings. In 2019, Schiff stated, "The whistleblower has a right under laws championed by this committee to remain anonymous and to be protected from harm." Fast forward to today, and Democrats don't believe in whistleblower rights anymore. As reported by Breitbart, a committee spokesman stated the whistleblowers are not comfortable speaking to Democrats because of their record of slandering them. Quote, "Democrats leaked the committee's first subpoenas. Democrats leaked and mischaracterized whistleblower testimony, forcing several news outlets to correct their stories. Democrats issued a report attacking these whistleblowers and disparaging their character. The truth is, Democrats had access to the transcripts, not to mention the fact the whistleblowers were sitting right in front of the lawmakers as they complained, ready to make statements and answer their questions. So it is not like they are not being given the information. So why the hostility? In 2019, the media bent over backwards to defend the Democrats, allowing second-hand testimony about a call Trump had with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, fighting claims the law was changed to do so. The whistleblower form requires that, in order to find an urgent concern credible, the ICIG must be in possession of reliable, first-hand information. The ICIG cannot transmit information via the ICWPA based on an employee's second-hand knowledge of wrongdoing. NBC News reported that the law hasn't changed and there's no requirement that whistleblowers stick to first-hand information in their complaints. The whistleblower does not need to prove right off the bat with direct evidence what they're claiming. It's true, the law does not require the initial complaint to be first-hand knowledge, but it does require first-hand knowledge must be obtained to move forward. And that's where the IG and the Democrats failed and the media ignored. They jumped in immediately with an impeachment investigation, already declaring Trump guilty, and then looked for someone with first-hand knowledge. It wasn't until after the Democrats started proceedings against Trump did a first-hand witness come forward. The media rejoiced, reporting the walls are closing in on Trump, when Alexander Vindman stepped forward, supposedly verifying the accusations about Trump's Ukraine phone call. Except there was a slight problem. Vindman made up parts of the call. An honest vetting of his testimony would have proven it was not credible, again violating the whistleblower requirements. But the narrative was too good for the Democrats and the media to let pesky facts interfere. To top it off, Representative Adam Schiff read a supposed summary of the phone call to Congress, implying Trump invoked a quid pro quo multiple times. But it was disproven before he even started speaking, as Trump released the transcript beforehand. Schiff read his lies anyway, only to acknowledge he made up parts of it after being confronted by Republicans. The only reason he admitted this was because he was called out for doing it. To cover, he claimed he was parroting the call. Really? Then why did you present it as being 100% fact, Mr. Schiff? They never expected Trump to release the transcript. They never expected Schiff's statement to be challenged. They never expected the truth to be revealed. Despite Schiff's and Vindman's lies and shenanigans, the media continued to push the lies. PolitiFact went into overdrive trying to explain why Schiff made up the Trump call, attempting to excuse what he did, claiming he never said he was quoting. No, he just implied it knowing the media would back him all the way and only backtracked when he was caught lying. Finally, the Ukraine whistleblower had direct contact with Adam Schiff's office, a huge red flag for a whistleblower, but any mention of this by the Republicans was met with anger and hostility by the Democrats. Despite the evidence, Schiff lied again, claiming he had no knowledge of who the whistleblower was. Dems' response was basically, and I'm parroting here, "How dare you question the whistleblower or Adam Schiff, you Nazis?" But all this did not stop the Democrats from clinging to the whistleblowers, ignoring all the warning signs that something was not right, and moving forward with their tyrannical efforts to impeach and oust a sitting president. Following the revelations in the recently released Durham report, the fact this all started because of a CIA officer's claims only goes to add more support to the weaponization and corruption allegations against our federal law agencies. Now are you seeing why the Democrats were so hostile to the recent FBI whistleblowers? So, any hearsay evidence against Trump is 100% gospel and warrants immediate and thorough actions against Trump, regardless of credible evidence. On the flip side, honest first-hand knowledge against corruption in the FBI is preposterous, conspiracy theories, and should be dismissed immediately without any investigation. In fact, Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz argued they weren't even whistleblowers. Her evidence? The FBI and other government agencies said so. Translation? The FBI investigated itself and they're good. But when all else fails, January 6th. The Democrats also attempted to dismiss the witnesses as January 6th sympathizers, while glossing over that none of them had any known performance issues during their many years of FBI service prior to raising their recent allegations. If you can't refute, deflect. Do the Democrats even understand they are unquestionably justifying the whistleblowers' fears of being degraded by them by outright attacking them at the hearings? I guess even if the Democrats do, they likely don't care because they know the mainstream media will never call them out on it. Representative Sanchez was so invested in the January 6th domestic terrorist narrative, which I'm sure she believes to her core, that she and her staff didn't even bother to do very simple fact-checking before her questioning time. While drilling Marcus Allen, she referenced a random January 6th tweet by an account with the same name, assuming it was his account. Allen immediately, categorically denied it being his, but she plowed forward anyway, determined to somehow connect Allen to January 6th. Speaking of January 6th, Democrats failed the first-hand knowledge requirement again during their unconstitutional Select Committee hearings by trotting out Cassidy Hutchinson to claim Trump grabbed the wheel of the beast to try to go back to the Capitol building. After her testimony, Liz Cheney gave her a nice, warm, impartial, congratulatory hug, only to have first-hand witnesses in the Secret Service completely destroy Cassidy's testimony in less than 24 hours. Not only is there no way Trump could have reached the wheel, even if he wanted to, Cassidy didn't even have the right vehicle. He wasn't in the beast that day. Another incredibly easily verifiable fact that was just brushed over by those who wanted to blindly believe her. This proves, to me at least, that there is absolutely no interest in truth for some. Just grab whatever they can to push their narrative, and facts and truth be damned, so they can demonize anyone who stands in their way. This is the definition of propaganda, patriots. Unfortunately, far too many still believe the lies. Don't be fooled. This is not accidental oversight. This is willful misconduct and efforts to keep power. If these congressmen and journalists are so sloppy with such verifiable facts, how can I trust them with any of their accusations? You can draw your own conclusions. Just think about it. If they lied about what the Ukraine call was, who the whistleblower was, and the validity of the claims, what does that tell you about their opposition to these FBI whistleblowers? Knowing this, it makes you wonder why the FBI is now arguing the Biden crime family whistleblower would be killed if he came forward. Really? If he's lying, how is he a threat? If he's telling the truth, who would want him dead? Just let that sink in. Love him or hate him, Trump was right about the Ukraine call. In fact, Trump's been right about a lot of things. Not only did they fabricate Trump's quid pro quo, he was 100% correct about the shenanigans going on in Ukraine with Hunter Biden, and rightfully suggesting Zelensky look into it. Problem is, we are now finding out Biden is owned by Ukraine. That is being exposed right now in several investigations, primarily the overt cover-up of Hunter's laptop and the damning information on it. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Rosie, you aren't saying anything about the Republican attacks on the Ukraine whistleblower. Well, that is true. But may I remind you all the concerns the Republicans had turned out to be completely valid. The Democrats lied. They knowingly lied, with the help of the media, to manipulate what people thought. So please forgive me if I question their motives at this time. Let me conclude by saying the Democrats did everything they could to legitimize the Ukraine whistleblower, build an argument that Trump committed quid pro quo with the Ukraine and should be thrown out of office. In case you were wondering, this is what a real quid pro quo looks like.
No, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid at the time.
We now know the Ukraine call accusations were complete and utter lies. Fast forward to now, where those same Democrats are doing all they can to discredit the FBI whistleblowers without even pretending to address their accusations. Just think about that a minute. What does that say to you? For me, It convinces me the FBI whistleblowers are directly over the target and are exposing the true corruption within our government agencies. Stop listening to what the politicians say and watch what they do. It tells you everything you need to know. I'm Rosie the Riveter, and that's my 2 cents. But what do you think? Leave your comments down below. If you enjoy my content, please consider supporting my work on Patreon. You can find all my videos and my blog Liberating Letters at thefactspaper.com. You can also start your own research on the Facts Paper by exploring the thousands of links to articles I have, including those noted in my videos, sharing the truth fake news propagandists won't. Investigate and discover the truth for yourself.